Ladies and gentlemen, we have. Can I get 50 people to drop some fire emojis on the arrival of Mr. Armand Puyolt, our mentor and CEO? He's here to do this phenomenal training on this beautiful Sunday. And trust me, if you don't have your MLM Guru handbook, you need to get that, right? Because this man is the reason why I've been able to earn over seven figures in Vida Divina. Here's the reason why we have over 50 people that have hit a rank of diamond or better in Vida Divina, right? He's the reason why we have thousands of people across the world changing their lives. So, with no further introduction, Mr. Armand Puyolt, are you here?
Definitely are. Hi, how's everybody doing? Very good to have every single one of you here. It's kind of awesome on a Sunday morning being able to get everybody together. Now, one of the things that I want everybody to understand, basically, and I want everybody to know, there are two things. Obviously, the convention. If you guys are going to be showing up to the convention, is something that is going to help you in growth because it's going to give me a second. It's going to, thank you. It's going to help you basically get to positions where you've always wanted to get in any company. It doesn't matter where you're at. If you are at this company, if you were in another one or whatever, every time you go to a convention, you have growth. Why is that? Because every time you see an event, you get more credibility for what you are doing. You get more credibility for everything that you are basically growing in life. That's one of the reasons that, for example, if anybody's here and any one of you are in the Dallas area or Texas, I will be doing an event in English, an English event basically for the whole industry. So I'll be the headliner. I'm the keynote trainer. I'll be the one closing on Saturday. It's gonna be phenomenal. But that's only if you guys are available for the ANP, the Association of Network Marketing Professionals. If you guys are in the area, let me know. Let me know that you guys are gonna, you guys are there. You guys want to be there or something like that. It's pretty cool. So one of the things that I always tell people is this: to learn to do network marketing is a very simple trait, and anyone can do it. Anybody can be extremely successful in Vida Divina. Now, why am I telling you this? Because I have a handbook, and I don't know if you guys have it yet, the MLM Guru handbook. This handbook basically is going to take you step by step in everything you need to know how to get to seven figures, eight figures, nine figures in this industry. And the really cool deal about this, if you don't like to read, is not to read the whole book. Basically, you could just go to the chapter what you need help in, basically, and just skim through it, and it'll guide you right through. We've had a lot of tremendous success with a lot of people after they start reading this. Mindset is very important too. And that's one of the things that you're going to start learning within the book also, and every training that I give is mindset. You know, there was I love to tell stories. So, every time I tell stories, it's kind of a training involved with it. And sometimes they're not phenomenal stories, but so bear with me sometimes, sometimes you may not enjoy it, but you're going to get something out of it, one or the second. So one of the things that, the other day I heard a story, it was pretty funny to me. But, one guy goes like, a lot of people don't feel like they're entrepreneurs right now. They're just sitting there. And they're sitting there wondering what they should do because they feel they don't have all the, all the tools, all the knowledge. There's one thing I tell people is like, it's not about the knowledge and what you do, it's about action. It's about what you're going to do and how the steps that you take to move forward as you're working in the business. Okay. And I tell people this all the time because people seem to not believe in themselves. A lot of people feel that, hey, that guy's doing well because that guy is this person and he's always going to be on the top and he's always going to work. Like an Albert Jake is always going to be phenomenal. Why? Because he's always building his business. He's always working. I don't have those talents that he has. Or, you got, Latasha Carpenter, who's in Latin America right now working. You go like, I can't be that person like Natasha that was been retired from her job and is moving all over the world or wherever she can be so she can grow her business everywhere. I can't be that person. So there's always that attitude that we see in ourselves that says, there's that wall in the person. There's that wall that we add ourselves into basically our lives that we says we can't jump this wall. We can't knock this wall down. This is our barrier. And this is why I'm not going to be successful. This is why I'm not going to be, the next diamond. This is why I'm not going to be the next 6 or 7 figure earner in the company, because I feel there's walls in front of me. And one of the things that you have to understand is there's no wall. You can say, this guy has work. This guy has a car, this guy has a lifestyle, this guy has this, and this guy has talent, and this guy has this. You can say that about anything, but it doesn't mean that is why your wall should be up. If you're looking into perspectives, I also know a guy who, has a great relationship, has sexual encounters 2-3 times a week. Most of you don't. He reads 2, 3, 4, 5 books a week. So like nobody does that. It's incredible. He eats 2 to 3 times a day. A lot of people don't. So you feel like this guy's very on top. Yet this person always complains that it's depressing being inside prison. So, we can see the story or whatever we want to feel, no matter what other people's have. You can see that other people may have things, but they're not in the position that you want to be in, actuality. So you got to paint the picture. You got to paint the picture where you want to go to. You got to paint the picture where you want to be in life. You got to paint the picture that, that you want to get to, that you want to get to in your organization. See, let me tell you 7 qualities of a great leader. And if this rubs onto you, I think, we did our job correctly. Okay? And these are 7 qualities that I carry with me like it was the Bible. These are 7 qualities that I just want to always, I always pursue, and I kind of put it into the mindset of every single one of my leaders that are out there. And when I say my leaders, you're all my leaders, since you're all in the company. But what I mean by leaders is the pillars. It's very important to have pillars, okay? So, number 1, the 7 qualities of a great leader, you got to learn to inspire. Inspiration is one of the greatest things you can give a person who's on the opposite side listening to you. By saying inspiration means you're not talking negative of whatever is happening in your life. You're not painting the picture of, oh, poor me, to these people that you're talking to. Everyone in life, doesn't matter if you're rich or you're poor, has problems in their lifestyle, has problems in their life. And you just got to understand that people don't want to hang out with people that have other problems because, see, this is the fact. People have enough issues in their own life that they don't want to carry somebody else's burdens. So stay away from speaking negative, no matter what it is. Now, if something's happening in your team, something's happening with you, go upline, talk to somebody in your upline, talk to a leader that can, but never talk downline. Never speak downline wise, any negative issues possible. Always speak upline. Why? Because upline may be able to help you, but you don't want to destroy your downline. You understand that part? It's very, very important. Now, inspiration comes from different matters. I would speak my story. For example, if I was you, I would speak my story. Tell them where you came from. Number 1, tell them, where you where you want to go to, where you want to grow to. What is your reason, your why that you want to head to this place, this level, this rank, or this kind of money that you want to earn? Why is that? Why do you want to? You got to tell that in your story to these people. That's why you're going to inspire them. Why? Because people don't have dreams. Most people don't have dreams. Entrepreneurs have dreams. You may have a dream, but most people don't. You got to understand that 98% of everybody works for the 2% around the world. So 98% of this world are not entrepreneurs, are not people with a mindset that says, I have a life, I want a life, and I want to grow. See, most people think differently. Most people just want a job. Most people just want to make it through life. Most people just kind of skim through life in any way possible. So you got to inspire people. You got to tell people, look, I am this person. Let's just say, we're speaking about, Albert, and it's like, man, he goes, I grew up in Ghana. I grew up in a neighborhood. I grew up, trying to get to be successful. I was able, to come to the United States to go to school because I was lucky enough that, I was chosen in that manner. And I came and I learned and I graduated, but yet I found a profession that's going to help me get to where I want to dream a little bit faster. I found a profession that's going to get me to levels that are unthinkable in my mind. So I want to head that direction. And guess what? I want to be a 7-figure earner. I want to be a 6-figure earner. I want to be, the top earner of a company. I want to be this person. But to accomplish that, I need to take more people with me. I need to take more people along with me so they can also become these 6 and 7-figure earners. And the more people I take with me are going to be people that are going to reach these levels also. So if you dream a little bit and you want a little bit, guess what? Join me. And I'm going to take you where I want to go. If you believe in what I'm telling you, I'll take you where I want to be. See, to kind of inspire people is important as a leader because most people don't see it. Most people don't, they just don't see the inspiration because life has hammered them so hard that all they see is the rough spots in life. All they see is the bad parts in life. All they see is, the hurt that they are in all the time. So I want you to all, when you're inspiring people, always speak the positive about, speak where you want to get to, speak where you want to become. You don't have to be a 7-figure earner. You don't have to be $1 million earner to inspire somebody. But if you have the drive and you tell people, I have the roadmap to get to where I want to go, and if you want to come with me, you're invited to come with me. Guess what's going to happen? There's some people that are going to join you on that bus ride. There's some people that are going to join you on that plane ride. There's some people that are going to join you on that mission that you have. Why? Because if they don't dream, they want your dream. They want to be inspired. So part of being a leader in this industry is creating inspiration for others. You might be in a predicament that it might not be good in your life right now, but guess what? Wash all that stuff away and look at where your mission is to where you want to get to. And if you see that and you talk about only that, it's going to happen. See, what we preach is what we want. So if you're preaching sadness, depressions, if you're preaching to people, about, my issues, my heart troubles, my this, who wants to follow somebody like that? You understand? So if you take all that away, you're like pulling all that stuff away, and you're just dedicating yourself to just the mission, the dream that you have, where you want to go to, where you want to become, how high you want to get to this in the company, where you want to take your family levels, and you preach that, people are going to follow. It's just that simple. Okay? Number 2 is lead and execute into a mission. Do what you're supposed to do, like the 5 steps to success. Leading with your heart, like our statement is, lead with love. Leading with your heart in your mind, knowing where you want to go is going to take you to levels that you have not even fathomed. It is important. So number 3, explore. Have passion to learn. In general, always ask the questions to people. There's a saying that, at least in Mexico, where I grew up, there's a saying, but I'm going to clean it up a lot because we don't speak too cleanly. As I said, when we get to that side, we're always throwing in words that are not, I gotta say the right words. But either way, it says, people do not want to sound dumb, so they don't ask the question. But I rather sound dumb one time in my life than stay dumb the rest of my life. You get it? It's important to ask the questions. It's important to ask your uplines and leaders, even myself, send me a message, ask the questions. Because if you get your questions answered, you're going to skip through the errors and mistakes that they went through to learn about how they answered that question. It is important that you learn faster by asking questions, because you're going to get to position in life a lot faster than you ever thought. There is no question that is so dumb that you cannot ask. I'm telling you, even you think it sounds stupid, don't worry about it. Worry about getting your answer to your question. That way you don't have that in the back of your head. So you got to learn to explore. Like I said, number 3 is explore. Ask the questions. Learn and keep learning all the time. Drop the fear. Take those steps that take you into fear sometimes. For example, a lot of people won't speak in front of a room, even with 3 or 4 people, because they have a fear that they're going to be shamed for some reason, or they're going to look dumb for one reason. Let me tell you a story. One time, because English is my first language, by the way, so you guys know that. Spanish, I always spoke very broken. To the day I'm still learning, and I'm pushing myself to learn a lot of different languages as is. But guess what? One time I was in a company where I was shadowing the master distributor of this company. Okay. And what I mean by shadowing is carrying her bags, listening to her, see what she does, because I want to make sure that I'm duplicating everything she does so I can get to the success that she has. So this is what I was doing in that time. But we got to this meeting, and there was some famous people, radio people, a lot of people that, they were very, very famous in that room. Some actors, and stuff like that. Some, and some people were from the movies, and some singers, and there was a lot of really high-end people in this room. So just being in the room alone kind of made me nervous. And I wasn't the one that's going to speak. Now, I don't know about you, but, it's like you're looking at these people, and you've seen them on TV, and you've seen them in the movies, you've seen them everywhere. You're going like, my goodness. I couldn't even ask them for a photograph because I felt so intimidated at that moment. I didn't feel comfortable at all. And then all of a sudden, this master distributor, her name's Becky, comes up to me and says, Armand, you're doing the meeting. And I looked at her, with I think like any kid, and I wasn't a kid, but any kid, their eyes open up and they go like, no, how can I do this meeting? And she goes, well, most people here, are Spanish speakers. I don't speak Spanish. People don't understand because they were from the media, but in the Spanish area. And I was like, well, no. So I saw the host of the house walk by, and I asked him, because his name was Martin. I go, Martin. He goes, hey, do you want this English or Spanish? And Martin goes, English. We always do it in English. I go, fantastic. I turn to her and I go, it was in English. She goes, okay, no problem. So we sat down. And guess what happened when we sat down? She turned to the person that was on her left and she goes, so how did you know Martina? He goes, tell me a little bit. He goes, how'd you get to know him? How'd you get invited here? She turned to him and goes, I don't hablo inglés. I mean, I don't, basically she's telling me I don't speak English. She turned to me and she goes, you're doing the presentation. And I was dropping to the floor because my Spanish was not good. I did understand it because I lived in LA, it's like, but I did not speak it. I spoke it like any other American in this country would speak it, broken. And you may understand it, but, it was just imagine the heart feel as your heart goes up to your throat and then it's dropping down to your stomach. And I'm like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And then you start praying because, you're like, you start believing more and more in the Lord, because guess what? You are so nervous. You think you're going to pass away now, So here's one thing that happened. I did the meeting and I did it in Spanish with my broken Spanish. People were even laughing because some of the words I didn't know if I said them right or whatever it was. They're making fun of it. Fantastic. But at the end, everyone signed up. And there was a lot of stars. There was a lot of people there were high-end people. There was a lot of, entrepreneurs and people in that nature. But what did I learn? I learned this. I learned no matter how good or bad you do a meeting, all you need to do is talk from the heart. If you speak from the heart and what you know, and you keep it to what you know, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be successful. Okay? So this is important. Why? Because I learned that, if I was sitting in that meeting, I would have walked out. I learned that if I was sitting there, I was like, oh my God, this guy sucks. Bye. Goodbye. I'm not going to. But that wasn't what most felt when I was asking the question. So why did you guys sign up later on? Because they were in the company now. And I was able to talk to him. He goes, why'd you sign? He goes, look, because when you did that meeting and you were so nervous and you looked like you didn't know what you were saying, didn't know it, but you did it, and then we knew how much you made, already in the company. He says, if he can make that money doing that as a actor, for example, that knows how to speak in front of a room, or as a person on the radio that knows how to speak on the room, or a song, writer and singer that knows how to speak in front of a room, he goes, man, we'll make a killing. So their perspective is completely different than what I had. My fear was irrelevant at that point. And that's what I'm trying to tell you, every single one of you. If you move forward, you're going to notice that, fear is irrelevant in our lives. It's something that we make up. It's something that we put in front of us, and it stops us from advancing. Now, you got to explore more out there. You got to explore more than your comfort zone that you have. And I'm telling you one thing, the further away you get away from your comfort zone, the more uncomfortable you feel, the more fear you fear, the more money you're going to make. It's just that simple. And sometimes you got to balance the two. I tell people, there's some, like, for example, the other week, I had a young lady who says, is a single mother, and she's living on her own, and she's starting in the company, and she goes, I can't speak in front of a room of 3 people she was talking about, right? I was like, well, that fear, and listen to me, if you're a single mom, listen to me if you're an entrepreneur, that fear of not speaking in front of a room or speaking to other people is detaining you from bettering the life of your child. Is detaining you from bettering your life. Is detaining you from earning the money you should be earning at this moment. So it gets to be very, very important. You also, as you're exploring out there, we're still on 3 on exploring, you got to also recognize one thing. I tell people this. as you are growing in your company, a lot of people around you are not going to see what you see. Remember, most 98% of the people work for the 2%. And you hang around a lot of these 98% of the people, and they're going to be speaking to you like, what are you doing? You're crazy. Why are you doing that? Go find a job. Go do this. He goes, to get away from that. Why? Because they're not entrepreneurs. If you go speak to an entrepreneur, they're like, yeah, try for it. Go for it. You're going to fail, but get up and move. They're going to speak very different of what your ideas are. So I want you to write this down because it's going to help you in life. And I want you to read this all the time. Be prepared to be misunderstood. So you got to prepare yourself to be misunderstood by the majority of the people around you and accept it. Just know it goes, they're not going to get it. And just understand that you don't have to stop loving these people. They're your family members. You're going to continue on loving them, but just understand from the perception of what you're listening to and what you're receiving and what you're putting into your brain from your business side, you're going to keep that away. You're going to keep that away from you. Why? Because you don't want that to drag. It's like, let me put it in another perspective. Let's just say we had a red apple and we had a rotten apple. If you have a basket of red apples and you put one single rotten apple in that basket, the rest of them will get rotten very quickly. Right? So you don't want to permit that rotten apple to come into your mindset because it's gonna screw you up completely. Just remember that always. Remember that the interest of the leaders, are more than just making money. When you're exploring out there, the interest of a leader in being a great leader is more than just making money and building a lifestyle. It's about building others. Just remember that. The more people you build, the bigger you will become. This is just that simple. Number 4, growth. Most leaders who have a leadership mindset, they don't see limits. They see themselves growing to a certain level that they thought they were going to get, and then once they get there, they create a new limit for them to keep going forward. It's like, let me give you an example. When I was younger, I never knew what 20 grand was. Like a month, to receive that kind of money, to me, that was ridiculous money. $1,000 a week was like ridiculous money. All right. Which is nothing now. I know times have changed. But to me, at that time, $1,000 was like, wow, that's a lot of money. And here's one of the points that, I spoke to one of my sponsors in the business at one point, and I started shadowing him. Why? Because he documented to me that he earned 20 grand a month. Now, I'm talking about back in the time. I don't know if you guys remember this, but I'm an old guy. So we used to use fax machines, not like right now. And if you don't know what a fax machine is, it's a printer that rolled out, basically all your messages printed on a paper, and then you read them. Instead of this email junk that everybody has now. I imagine getting a roll of, just roll after paper after paper after paper after paper of your downline, because there's no back office either. So you can see where the positioning of everybody is. You had to literally print it, and you kind of, from the information you got on your fax, you can put everybody in and who's active, who's not, and all that stuff, right? Well, he showed me his, and he showed me he was earning 20 grand a month. And I remember it was like 20 grand even. I was like, holy cow, you earn 20 grand a month? And I'm looking at him going like, how is that possible? Couldn't even see myself there. I know most of you may not see yourselves at $20,000 a month. He goes, you might think that's ridiculous money. See? I thought the same thing. So what did I do? I shadowed him. I started becoming his assistant. I went everywhere he went. I became, because there was no PowerPoint or computers back then, or a projector back then, or monitors. So what we had was a flip chart, which was like a book, a big giant book, and he just flipped it where everybody could see it. And I pointed the stick. I was the guy who flipped it, and I was the guy who pointed the stick. Because what happened? I followed everything he did. I went everywhere he went. I ate what he ate. I said, I'm going to become a duplicate of this guy if he's making 20 grand. So I thought that was incredible money. And guess what happened? I became, at one point I was like, I was watching him, and I noticed that everything he said in the meeting was verbatim, word by word, exactly like a script, what he said every single time. It was the same jokes he said every single time. It was the same everything that he said every single time. So I kind of remembered it, like, when you watch a movie, I don't know if you guys have kids, but you watch your kids watch a movie over and over and over and over and over, a program over and over and over again, right? And when they watch this program over and over and over again, your kids know the words before they even speak them, but they love it. And then you may be in the kitchen somewhere else listening to it, and you already know the words of this program because you're listening to it every day also. Same thing. So what happened was I decided to do my own meeting. I got my group together, not only his, but my group, and we rented a hotel room to do this meeting, for a meeting room. And I did this meeting room, and we went there and did everything. That day, I said everything verbatim, what he said and how he said it. I even called myself Sean. That was his name, not mine, because I just skipped right over that. But guess what? At the end of the day, I recruited every single person signed up that went to that meeting. Every single person signed. So what that led to me was that if I duplicate this person, I'm going to duplicate what he makes. And it got to the point where I was making a little over $20,000 with bonuses and everything, and I got comfortable. I thought that was the limit. I thought we hit the top of the company. I thought a lot of things that we think. I thought that, we were as great as we were going to get, right? And then I got to a convention. This is why it's important to go to a convention. And then I got to a convention and I met people in his uplines. And I met this woman, which was Becky, again, when I started shadowing. Oh, she goes, I told her, and I was very excited, she goes, how are you doing? And I said to her, I remember this like word by word. I told her, I'm feeling great. I hit the top of the company and I've been phenomenal. She goes, hit the top of the company? What do you mean? I go, yeah, well, I'm earning 20 grand. He's earning 20 grand. We hit the top. That's it. She goes, no. She showed me her checks, copies of her checks, because they were photocopies. She was doing 82 grand a month. So guess what I did? I went to Provo, Utah, and I started shadowing her. And I started moving, and I was like, I'm going to find out what this girl does that I'm not doing. Because if it worked for me last time, it's going to work for me again. And obviously it did. Okay. By the end of my 18th year, purchased my single mom, her first home. By the end of 20, I was doing over 7 figures, $1 million a year. By the end of 25, I was doing over $5 million a year. And I got to earn over 12.5 mil a year. So if somebody knows about duplicating stuff, it's me. Trust me. And I'm not going to tell you that, I know they call me an MM guru and all that stuff, but let me tell you a secret. I still learn it. I'm still learning. And I pick up information from everywhere. Why? Because I learn, the more I learn, the better I get. And I'm not proficient at everything. You know, it took me a while to learn how to run Facebook, and it took me a while how to do Instagram, and it took me a while. I still don't know how to use TikTok. I'll be honest with you. And I still don't know how to use a lot of these platforms. You know, so there's some things I give up on. I was like, you know what? That's not for me. I ain't dancing. You know, so you gotta understand that you got to understand that there is a way to get to where you want to go, and it's duplication out of everything. So as you're growing in growth, number 4, remember, is know that there's more limits. You're limitless basically at where you're going. It's important to know that. It's important to know that you can get to wherever you want and then some. But let's get to where you want to get to. And then when we get there, we're going to get you, double, triple, quadruple where you were at. Why? Because everything we do is limitless. An entrepreneur is limitless in what they do for life, what you can earn, what you can progress, what you can learn. A lot of people go like, well, I can't get a visa to the United States of America. Well, I digress. Guess what? We've gotten more visas and help from people getting more visas from all over the world. We can get visas from people from Ghana. We can get visas from people from Latin America. Trust me, we can get visas. It's very, very simple. But to get a visa, this is what they ask for, just so you guys know. The government asks us to prove to them, because we have to send a copy of the visa letter that we send you to them with documents documenting what we're telling them in the letter. So you have to have a trophy coming or something because you did something of valor. So we say, if you get to the rank of supervisor, basically, you have a first pin. So the first pin is a trophy. So we prove to people, you get a trophy. After that, we can sign you up to become that. Now, we have to show them that you're active, that you're selling, that you are producing within your country to certain levels, obviously. And guess what? You are allowed to obtain a visa, in a visa letter, because we showed them along the way. See, that's what's important. So you have to understand that everything's limited. See, a lot of people see a lot of borders, and it's hard to get to. Like, man, it's so hard to get into the United States. Oh, it's so hard to get this. It's so hard to get there, right? But if you're looking at from the perception of God from the top, there's no borders in any part of the land. There's no lines. So you can have to know that you are limitless and you will get where you want. Now, you got to do things right, though. You can't do things wrong. You can't cheat your way through. You can't look for a shortcut to do things. That's one of the things that you're going to have to learn, that shortcuts will not get you there faster. Will probably get you there instantly faster, but you won't retain it. You will lose that in some and then go back to the starting line again. But when you grow your business the right way, without shortcuts, when you're doing it the right way, guess what's going to happen? You're gonna grow these pillars. You're gonna grow this building of entrepreneurs that you're growing, you're building. And guess what? Because of the structure that you build so solidly, you're going to grow in a way that people are just going to grow to limitless levels. You're going to be that skyscraper in Dubai with 165 stories. You're going to be that that building that surpasses that too. There's no limits. So you got to understand that there's in as we grow internally and as a leader, you gotta learn that there's two types of people that you have to become. Number one, an optimist. You have to be an optimist entrepreneur. You got to know that there's going to be failures along the way, but it's okay. Don't worry about it. Get up, clean up, let's go, and keep going. It's going to happen. I can't tell you, a lot of people hear my story and they say, whoa, Armand, he's been on top of every company he's been in, but that's why he's where he's at. No. You guys never hear the bad parts. You guys have never heard, you only hear the positives, but you've never heard the BS that we had to go through to get to this position. See, what people don't understand, and I want you to put this on paper and remember this always. The way I see it is, there will always be a river of excrement, of shit, of whatever you want to call it, feces. There will always be a river that is so ugly, so smelly, so horrific that nobody wants to touch it. Nobody wants to get near it. But on the other side of this river is your success. See, there's some people that will put their foot in it just to get there, and then they're like, "Oh, was it oozing ugly in the bottom?" And you feel it, and you pull your foot out, and you just go wash off and forget it. Some people didn't even take that one step. Remember, most people didn't. There's some people that are going to walk into it, going to go knees deep, and they go like, "No, I can't do this no more. No, this is horrific. The smell, everything." And they're going to right back out. There's some people that are going to go all the way to their chest. They want to walk through this. And they're like, no, I'm back. I'm going back. This is not for me. There's some people that are going to get it up to their lip. And they're going to say, no, I'm that's it. I can't know that. I can taste it already. Forget it. I'm gone. There's some people that's going to go all the way up to their nose. And you got some stuff is going into your mouth. And guess what? And they're continuing on. And they're like, some people are going to retract and go back. But there's some people are going to take it and go like, you know what? There's very, very few. They're going to go, I'm going all the way through. I'm already this deep. I'm going to keep going. And that's what you got to become. Because if once you're out of that river, you're successful. Once you're out of that river, things are going to change completely in your life. Your lifestyle, you may be brought up from one poor family to poor family to poor family to poor family. This is you now. Now it's your choice to continue that trend for your family, or are you going to take the path that is different? See? Or you're going to take your family now to a different direction where you're going to change their lifestyles forever. You're going to change your life forever. See, a lot of people go, well, Armand, I'm not a $1 million earner in network marketing yet, but I'm showing everything. But guess what? You've already changed. But just by being an entrepreneur, you've already changed a lifestyle for your children. How? Let me tell you one. Even if you're earning $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month or $4,000 a month, you might think it's nothing, but it's not. You're changing the direction for your children forever. Why? Because they're watching you. They're watching you. They're becoming you. They're saying, you know what? Dad, mom, were able to create wealth, even if it wasn't much, doing it this way instead of working for somebody, instead of looking for a job, instead of stealing in the corner, instead of doing things that are not good, instead of being in gangs, instead of being, bad, instead of, being in jail. They found a way to change our life. Even if you were to pass away in the future, if they only knew that, you change their lives forever. They're going to be entrepreneurs from now on. You added to that 2%. And that is more than anything anybody in your past has done for your family. Now, you can take it further, and I hope you do. Because if you show them that no matter what happens in life, no matter what, I show my kids every single time I get knocked down, every single time I got hurt, every single time, I was crying, they know. Why? Because when they know that, they know to expect that it's not going to be easy, but yet we keep going forward. You guys got it? So it is important all the time, all that. Okay. Number 5. Duplicate your business members. You got to grow leadership underneath you. Who is the leader in my point of book? Everybody, I know we all call ourselves leaders. We're all leaders. But who do I see as a leader? If I'm going to remove one person and tell them this guy is a leader and put him here, a leader is somebody who doesn't wait to be told to do something. They're going to do it. It could be something small. I didn't tell Latasha, hey, go fly, 17,000 miles to go visit this place so you can grow. She did it on her own. I found out when she was on the plane. You know, when you're going to do something, you're going to do something, and you're going to grow because of that. Don't expect other people. So look for people who have a mindset of doing things themselves. See, now, if I'm looking for people to sit on my boardroom table as part of the board of Armand Puyolt, okay? Who am I looking for? I can grab any leader that wants to join and put him there. Yes, I could, but I don't. I put people that have a mindset, a entrepreneur mindset, and they're going to grow with or without me. They're going to grow. That's who I want in my board. That's who you should leave as your pillars. That's who you should be, the people that you want to grow with. Now, everybody else is extra. I love that. There's going to be a lot of people because they're going to grow into it also. They're going to become these pillars also, but it's going to take some time. Right now, you need the people who want to do the things that you do, who wants to get to where you want to get to. That's important. See? To me, that is just awesome stuff. You need people to teach them to teach the vision, to talk about the vision. You need to have people who duplicate what you do because you can't do things alone. I'm telling you one thing. Time is not on our side. You understand that? Time is not on our side. That means you only have 24 hours a day to do everything you want to do in that day. And if you think you're going to get it all done by yourself, you're wrong. You got to multiply yourself through leadership and pillars and move things forward so that you can grow faster. Let me just give you an example. If I have a home party and I invite people to a home party, and a home party for me is just showing product, not talking about the business, not talking about anything, just the product. See, a lot of people want to push. This is the biggest mistake people do too in network marketing, and that you'll learn in this book, basically, that a lot of people believe that if you get them in the room and you're talking about the product, talk about the business. So you do a product and business presentation at the same time. You killed your opportunity for sale, and you killed your opportunity for the business automatically. You have to learn to do the 5 steps correctly. And I know it takes a little bit longer, yes, but guess what it'll take you to? It'll take you to solid success. Okay? Why is that? Let me tell you. I have a home party. Let's just say I invite 10 people to this home party. 10 people arrive. I invited maybe 30 people, only 10 arrived. All right? If you want, just remember, no matter how many people you want in the room, always quintuple, 5 times the amount of people invite to get there. You're usually going to get, a quarter of it or more, a little bit more. But never you're going to get the numbers that you want to get to. But if you invite, for example, and you get 10 in the room, check this out. This is what's going to happen. Okay? 10 in a room are going to buy the opportunity. We're going to buy, the product that we have. They're all going to try the product. I'm going to follow up with everybody if they like the product. Now, if they like the product, I'm going to continue on with them. If they say they didn't like it, I'll give them some time. But everybody who liked the product, I'm going to ask them, what do you think about the business? If you can do the business, maybe earn the money that I do. And at that point, then if they're interested, then I'll introduce them to a business meeting. And I only take people to the business meeting that have already tasted the product, they already know the product, and they're already seen the vision. You see that? So what you're doing is you're filtering people through. So by the time they get to the business opportunity meeting, when they come here, guess what happens? They're in, and they're in solid. You don't have to worry if they're going to work or not. See, if you're just putting people into the business, most people are not going to work because they were not meant to be there in the business. See what I'm talking about? So it's important to be able to sort through people. It's the biggest art that we do here in network marketing. Let me tell you this. You guys all heard the money's in the follow-up, right? The money's in the follow-up. When you have a customer and you follow up, the money's in the follow-up. You get more sales, or you can find out if they're business worthy, and then you ask them into the business. And then guess what? The fortune is in sorting. Okay, always remember that. The fortune's in sorting. You want to get to $1 million? Gotta learn how to sort through people. You can't push the whole herd through. You gotta select who you're letting through. That is important part of the business. Okay? So as we are growing, you gotta learn to build people. Like I said, number 5 is growth. Basically, number 5 is build your leaders. And as you're building your leadership, you gotta learn who's gonna be your leaders. Okay? Who is going to tell the story, your story, their story, the company story. It's very important. The more that happens, the more people duplicate that, the bigger you're going to get. Okay? And, and who's going to share the vision and invite them onto the vision. Number 6, learn to be a leader and not a manager. Okay? It is important that most people that they try to lead a group, they try to become a manager, like, trying to manage them like in a business or like in a job. That's not how it happens. You shouldn't have to be pushing anybody. If you have to push people to work, that means you sorted the wrong person into your business. It's that simple. I'm not saying they won't be successful in the future. I'm saying it's going to take them a very long time to get there. You got to sort through people so you can get there faster. Okay? So learn to be a leader and not a manager. Remember, a manager acts for the people. It acts for the money. A leader acts for the team. A leader acts, it works for the growth of everybody. So it's very, very important. And number 7, lead with love. Look for the success of others that are in your team. The more people you take to success, not only will they never leave you, they will always adore you. You'll be the godmother or godfather of their kids and everything else because you changed their lives forever. But if you see for the benefit of others first, your growth is inevitable. You will be that 7-figure, 8-figure earner. It is important along the way. So these 7 things is things that I teach everybody in my leadership to produce. Is what I look for, basically, in a leader. Now, remember the part where I said, ask the questions. Ask the questions. You want to grow faster? Ask the questions. Let me give you a sample of questions you should be asking to people above you. What is the best advice you can give me to help plan to get to a certain position rather than just simply build every day? Another question would be, how do I encourage others? What has worked for you? How would you describe your personal style of doing the business? Do you have a mentor? Have they influenced you? How? Tell me about it. What do you do to constantly challenge yourself? These are questions you're going to be asking. These are questions I would ask somebody. And I'm reading them off because I create these questions to ask people that, that I want to know stuff from. When I sat down with John Maxwell, before we build that training together, for network marketing, like I did the network marketing, so he did the leadership. These are the things I asked him. I didn't change the questions. I just asked him. And he's going to respond with the information. See? Would you do, if you had another opportunity, would you have done anything differently? Why? For example, one of my sons wanted to be a veterinarian. And he actually asked this question to the veterinarian he was working for after he got his degree and everything. And the veterinarian said, I would have never been a veterinarian. It's not what I thought it was, not that I wanted. I might as well have gone for being a doctor. And it blew my son's mind. At that point, he left being a veterinarian. Now he's working for corporate. So sometimes you ask questions, you're going to get the rough answer, but just be prepared to receive sometimes answers that they're going to change your life. I'm telling you, if you listen, it's going to change your life. How do you keep feeling separate from your decision making? It's another question. What are the values you are committed to? How do you balance your work and home life? Do you have any books that you would suggest or recommend? See, I ask that question not because I want to read the books that they have or they know. I just want to see where they're angled at, usually. That's what I look at, because most of these books I've already read anyway. But I want to see where the perspective comes from, when they're talking to me. Okay? So those are the questions, you can pick and choose, you can use them all, you can do everything. Those are some of the questions I'd be asking people. I suggest you go out there and start asking people. Now, a lot of people ask me, Armand, would you mentor me? I mentor a lot of people, okay? But I'm very selective. If you want to know who I take, it doesn't matter where they come from. It doesn't matter what country they're from. It doesn't matter, if they're local or not. There's one thing that I look for. I look for them selling 5 products daily, 5 days a week. If you can sell 5 products a day, you can prove to me you're selling 5 products daily. And you're going to prove to me by your back office. I mean, it's only evident in how many products you sold. It's how many products you purchased a month. And I don't want people buying product and sticking them under their bed, because the next month we're looking too. So it has to be constant. Now, a lot of people go, well, 5 products a day. They told me not to sell. Well, that's where the mistake first started. Everything is sales, no matter what you do. You may not like the sound of that, but I'm telling you right now, everything is sales. Everything you do. From the moment you're selling yourself as a leader to people, you're selling yourself. From the moment you are telling them to come in with package 1, package 2, package 3, package 4, you're selling them the package. It is incredible in how fast you can grow if you learn the art of selling. In any business, I've gotten to the top of every single company. And one of the companies, I surpassed the master distributor, the first person that's in the company. I surpassed her in levels that people didn't think. Why? Because I did things differently. That's one of the things that network marketing gives you the opportunity. Just because somebody is placed above you doesn't mean they're going to be bigger than you in rank. You can be bigger than them. You don't have a limit. And everybody is judged differently depending on what they do in their work. That's what's awesome about network marketing, is that you will be you. And you'll be judged as you. See? Now, I suggest everybody go out there every day and sell at least one product daily. Now, let me just ask. I know I see like Faith Williams here, and I see Andres Cuervas, and I see a lot of people that, I see on here. Let's just say you're Aisha Queen right now, and imagine the kind of people that Aisha Queen has underneath her, just underneath. They most might not be phenomenal people in the business, whatever. Okay. But let's just say everybody just sold one product a day. How many products would that be in your downline? How many points would that be in your downline? On your right leg and your left leg. Everybody just sold one. Would you hit new ranks? Now, let's just say everybody sold 2 a day. We teach people to sell 2 a day. I know everybody's not going to do it. Let's just say everybody did 2. Okay? Do the numbers in your downline. How big would you get? Would you hit diamond now? Of course. And everybody's just doing 2. See, if you split the work with everybody, you can get to ranks faster than anybody. If you're trying to do it all yourself, you're going to be suffering your life, your whole self, to try to get to that rank. You guys got that? Team makes the dream work. We've always heard it. Now, let's just say not everybody's going to sell because everybody doesn't want to sell. We understand that. Okay. And not only that, but you might have put people in the business that are not business minded because you force them to buy a package. Fantastic. Hooray for you. But guess what? If you can help just a few people sell 5 products a day, you think you can make that happen? You think you can pick and choose a couple people that could probably sell 5 products a day? Now, if you find, maybe not right away, but let's just say one, it doesn't have to be your direct. It could be somebody's direct and somebody's direct to somebody, but it's in your downline, somebody. But you found one person who sells 5 products a day. That's 100 products a month. Okay, because we don't work Saturday and Sunday. We give 1 day to God and 1 to the family. All right? So let's just say you're working 5 days a week. They're selling 5 products daily. That's 25 products weekly. In 4 weeks, that's 100 products. That's 4,000 points for that person alone. What rank would you be now? Just with 1. Okay? You automatically be around gold, solid. Now, here's the beauty about somebody who sells, okay? If they sold 5 products, they're earning $35 for each one, okay? Just make up the math. If you're making $35 per 5 products, that's $175 earnings that one day. Think it'll change somebody's lifestyle? They didn't take the whole day to sell 5 products. $175 a day, it's going to change somebody's life. Now, you put that times 5 because we're only working 5 days a week. That's $875 profit. Profit, not what you paid out. Now you put that times 4 because it's 4 weeks a month. You're talking about $3,500 in profit in just sales alone. Profit, not what you spend on the product. All right? Now, if you can find a person who sells 5, you better believe that next week she's selling 5 again to different people, maybe, because not everybody stays. Maybe one stayed as a continuous customer, but the rest of the 5 next week, they're all brand new people. Let's just say next week she gets 5, and then she gets 1 more continuous. Now she has 2 continuous shoppers, month per month. Now next week she gets 5, and now she has 3 continuous shoppers. The next week she gets 5 new people. It's going to get to the point that she's going to get so easy, she's going to start getting 6. Going out there selling 6. There's going to be 7. There's going to be 8 products. The more she sells, the better she's going to get at this. Now, hold on to your horse. Check this out. Let's just say you have one person selling 5 products. Now you have 2 selling 5 products a day in your downline. Okay? That is 8,000 points. Plus the extras inside, you might be hitting, a bigger rank than you thought. You might be at rose gold now. See? Now you get 3 people. Your lifestyle is going to start changing. Ranks are going to start getting. Bonuses are going to start hitting your account. All you're doing is selling 5. Let's just say within your downline, you have 25 people that hit your down. Every person you get to rank up that sells 5 products. If you have 25 people selling 5 products a day in your downline, you're at diamond level. That means residual income, not what the sales are. Residual income alone is over $26,000. Will your lifestyle change now? Will your zip code change? Did you put your kids in a better school? Would your family have a better life? See, everything's about sales. You can build, because a lot of people go, well, I'm going to sell to everybody, and everybody's going to buy at least 1 product a month, and we're going to build an organization that way. Everybody's going to be self-consume 1 product. Fantastic. If they self-consume 3 products that you need for them to qualify every month, that's 834 people that you need in the revolving door of this business. Or would you rather have 25 that sell and you be diamond? You get the same position twice, but 1, if they stop selling, if they stop buying, you lost that person. You gotta recreate it. If I have, for example, Natasha, and she has 25 customers, and Natasha decides to not be in the company, which I think that would never happen, but let's just say she decides that those 25 customers, guess where they stay? Do you lose those points? You don't lose those points. They're going to continue on buying. You guys get that? So the secret of growth is retention. Just remember that. How many people you can retain in your business. And how can you get retention faster? Having people sell more. Because then you can sort through all the customers and find who the person is going to be retaining and are going to be in retention. Just like we sort through people to find basically a distributor or an affiliate like you guys. I sort through my customers to see who is going to be a monthly buyer and count him in. So the game is very clear in how to play this. As an entrepreneur, it's very clear how to do this. Now, if you want to do the work or not, that's up to you. Like I said, I'll be sorting through a lot of people. And I'm going to find my pillars. I hope it's you. But I'm going to find my pillars. And I'm going to take them to the next level. So I appreciate your time for being here with me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the information. I hope you guys enjoyed, this conference that we had right now in the Zoom. But one thing that I do want you to understand is that the convention is very powerful to be at. It's a very powerful place to be at. Now, there's going to be a lot of translators going back and forth in Spanish and English because we're all going to be wearing translators because, and it's mainly a lot of speakers are going to be in Spanish because of the diamonds up there. Depending how healthy Albert is, he might be on stage, maybe not, because I know he's suffering a little bit. But, every information you get is valuable, no matter what language you get it from. No matter who says it, that they're successful and they're proven to be successful, that can take you to the next level. So think about that. And if, like I said, if you guys are in Dallas next week, let me know. They're very expensive tickets there because it's mainly professional, super professional people that make it. They're going to be in that room. I mean, they're going to have like 5-star meals and stuff like that for free. Depending, the ticket itself to get in, it's very, very expensive. But if you guys are around Dallas, and I'll let Albert know, or Natasha, or one of the leaders that are here, or let me know. I'll get you guys. Let's just say I'll put together 5 tickets for and I'll buy those 5 for you guys. So I'll pick and choose 5 from everybody who gets. And if you guys are around the Dallas area, come and join me. Come sit on my table if you want. All right. Love you all. Take care. God bless. And I love you guys, man. Continue on. Be successful. Not because I want you to, but because you need to be and you deserve to be. Remember that always. God bless.
Armand, I want to say a big, big, huge thank you for today's training. I believe this is something we all needed. And, we had some great takeaways from the training. And my particular takeaway was inspiration. I vividly believe in the other company. The first time I just went on Facebook and I saw you being carried with a $2 million check. And I was just inspired. I'm like, is this even possible for someone to make that type of money at that time? And I remember I messaged you right away. I'm like, I want to be the African Armand Puyolt. And this, I believe, was in 2014. And fast forward 8 years later, we're here, right? So at times, I believe that the biggest thing someone can do for you is to show you it could be done too. Because what you see, you can't unsee, right? The moment you see something, it's like a vision you cannot unsee. So I want to say a big thank you for today's training and convention. I'm excited because I know what convention can do for you. I know just the energy being in that room, seeing people just like you breathing the same air as you being celebrated. And that also lets you know that can happen to you too. I remember being at my very first convention and seeing, at that time we had 2 diamonds in the company, seeing them carried on stage. I'm like, oh, I'm getting carried too. I remember seeing other Ken carried on. I'm like, I'm getting carried at the next convention. And that happened for me, So I want to say a big thank you to everybody that came on this call. I can't wait to see you at our convention. I should be fully recovered before then. So Armand, I'll definitely be on stage. I'm getting my training material ready. So I want to say a big, big, big thank you to everybody that's on here. See you at the other side of success. Ladies and gentlemen, the bottom is too crowded. So see everybody at the top. Have a beautiful day, and thank you all.
Sounds good. God bless everybody.